B. I think I found your people.
Were they missing? I mean, did I have people I didn't know about watering in the desert? I don't understand that reference.
B. What are 2 of your favorite things in the world?
Well, I like my wife.
Okay.
I like Bandit.
Yes, I know. But, like, go more things, not people. Or kind of like hobbies, interests.
Raindrops on roses and whispers on kittens. Is that what you mean? Like the song?
Yes, sure. A few of your favorite things.
Well, I like rock music.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that about me.
I've picked up on it, actually.
I like rock music. I like music.
And ding, ding, ding. That's the first one I was thinking about.
Oh, really?
Was music. Good music.
I bet you think I like bourbon.
I don't know what gave it away.
You know, I really don't know if I like having a bourbon channel more, or if I actually like the bourbon more. But
the bourbon came first,
I like rock music and bourbon. Is that where you want me to land this point?
That's where I needed you to land it, was good music and good bourbon. Okay?
All right.
The founders of the bourbon brand we are going to talk about today met in college and started a rock band together.
Like REM?
Just like REM.
Cool.
Except, unlike REM, their band didn't do well enough to pay the bills.
Oops.
So, they had to actually have big boy jobs. And they started a fermentation consulting company.
That's a real thing?
I did not know that was a career path. But
I didn't know that was an option.
Apparently it was. We missed out.
Right.
And then eventually they opened their own super successful distillery.
This sounds like a dream.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, good for them.
At least you have a bourbon channel and you have some guitars upstairs. That's basically the same thing, right?
That's just like owning a extremely successful distillery and a multi-million-dollar company. You're right.
After you were in a rock band.
Now I just got to get in a rock band.
It's exactly the same. What's up, B?
What's up, Heather?
I am excited about the bourbon we're trying today.
Are you ever not excited about the bourbon we're trying today?
Yeah, Kentucky Gentleman.
Good point.
Thanks. So this is a mouthful. Wilderness Trail, single barrel, family reserve, cask strength.
The brand being Wilderness Trail.
The brand is Wilderness Trail, that's correct.
So we're introduced to Wilderness Trail by our friend Damien, who we've talked about before at Happy Endings. We've been lucky enough to get our hands on one of their bottles.
Yeah, this is a really unique bottle, actually. But before we talk about it, I just want to kindly remind all of you out there to please hit the like and subscribe button and to share our show with your friends.
You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and or Instagram. We'd love to interact with you. Send us a message and leave us a comment, because one of us will get back to you.
I really do love it when we get messages.
We know you do, because somehow you don't talk enough to people in person. You need to talk to them on social media. This is the same person who she goes to pick up a pizza, and when she comes back, she tells us the story of the bartender and what's going on with her life, and feels a connection and has to give therapy.
I see no issues here. I'm a nice person. You got a problem with that?
No,
okay.
I like
Good.
you.
Let's get back to Wilderness Trail. It is a brand that is getting a lot of buzz in the bourbon industry, and it has a lot of characteristics that we have talked about lately that are kind of on trend in the bourbon world.
It's brown and it has alcohol in it?
That's exactly what I was referring to. Mm-hmm.
So to be clear, this isn't an old brand that they dug up and they just started it a decade. I mean, this is like a new brand.
Yeah.
It's not like they went and took the name of a preacher from the 1600s and claimed that he started bourbon and had some magic barrels that didn't burn on the outside. And the next thing you know, we've got the greatest bourbon of all time. This isn't, they didn't create a story.
This is not that, actually.
They just didn't take some dude's name.
Or throw Monticello on the bottle.
They didn't do that.
Call it a day.
So this is actually a bourbon. They actually make
They do.
bourbon.
And they just started in 2012. And
it's an original concept.
Fun fact, they're called Wilderness Trail because they are located along the Wilderness Trace, which is where Daniel Boone kind of
We know all about Daniel Boone.
Yeah, we do.
North Carolina.
We do know
There's
all
your
about
fun
Daniel.
fact, Tyler. Fun fact.
Fun fact. When they opened in 2012 and were actually the first legal distillery to open in Danville, Kentucky since Prohibition, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The founders, Shane and Pat, have degrees in mechanical engineering and plant pathology.
Yeah, that's not me.
No, me either. They bring a ton of science to their operation.
Now we know why we don't own a distillery.
Yeah, because we don't have a degree in plant pathology.
I don't even know what that is.
That's why we don't own a fermentation consulting business.
The Ferm shop.
which is pretty cool. So yeah, they bring a ton of science to what they do, which is something we talked about recently being very on trend.
Yeah.
And they've actually killed it in the business. So in 2016, they were named Kentucky Manufacturer of the Year. And then
Wow.
In 2020, they were named the official 18th stop on the elite Kentucky Bourbon Trail.
So they're part of the group now.
They're
on the inner circle of the circle.
They
do like a handshake.
They're playing with the big boys.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty impressive and pretty quickly done, if you think about it, because as we know, a decade in bourbon years is not very long.
No. No.
So their flagship product is actually their bottled and bond.
It's fantastic.
It's so good. It is a wheated bourbon that slightly unusually is made from sweet mash rather than sour mash. But that's not what we're trying tonight, right?
No, we are trying a single barrel, family reserve cask strength, which they do advertise on their websites, but they tell you that they're all going to be a little different, obviously. Mm-hmm. This one is non-chill filtered, has a barrel entry proof. Well, all of their cask strengths have a barrel entry proof of between 100 and 110, and it's aged 4 to 5 years. This one specifically is aged 4 years and 6 months. And that's kind of leading me into, because this is one of the things we really like about this company and a few others, put the information on the label. Mm-hmm. So we have the age, 4 years, 6 months, barrel, gives us a barrel number with the barrel type with the number 4 char, tells us which rick house, and then it tells us which yeast strain. Obviously, they're big into their fermentation and they develop yeast. That's a big deal. So whatever their yeast strain 927 is, that's it. What's cool about that is if you really like this expression, you can go bottle searching and you can go try to find yeast strain 927. And then on the back, it tells you that it's bottle 104 of 156. We know it's a single barrel. Interesting enough, we know that for this one, they got 156 bottles out of that barrel, which normally you get a little bit more, but that's okay. Regardless, I think that's all very interesting. And then on the front, it tells you the barrel number, 767586. Very interesting.
Well, and that's another trend we're seeing with some of these newer, younger distilleries is a lot more transparency on the bottle. It's kind of getting away from that prior mystery of, I don't even want to tell you our mash bill, much less, age statements or anything like that. Sure. So
this comes in at 115 proof, and this one costs us just under $60. We got it from the Durham ABC. It has a deep amber color, which I will completely agree with, and you see that a lot in a cask strength. Their website tells us that as a nose of caramel, oak, and spice. They say on the palate it'll be full-bodied and complex with notes of vanilla, toffee, and baking spices. The finish is long and smooth with a hint of oak and spice.
So, I know it's cliche, but I definitely get the caramel.
And you should. Which is good. But I get the oak.
You do get the oak.
I get the oak.
I get a little of the spice, too.
No, I do not get a pronounced peanut.
No.
But I do get an oak.
I don't get any nuttiness. But I do smell the spice.
Yes. and I would say that's spice, baking spice.
I do get more of the baking spice rather than the smell is less pepper, more baking spice.
Yeah. All right, let's go for it.
I get the caramel up front.
If you chew this, it warms.
Yeah. And then if you chew it longer, it warms, and then it just keeps warming.
Yeah.
It's like, you can tell it's a higher proof point. I get a little bit of vanilla and caramel at the front.
It baking spices right up.
Yeah.
It's going to fill your mouth. Pepper. That's more pepper.
Yeah. There's some heat on the back end.
There is. I like how it finishes.
What do you like about it?
I'm not getting deep tannin. It's not like I'm... but it has a nice... It continues to warm. Then it just kind of floats there. It's nice.
And it lingers.
Yeah. Just like the cranberries. You gotta let it linger.
You have to. You have to let it linger. So it does heat up at the back end for sure. But then the finish, like you said, it mellows back out and you're left with kind of that classic like caramel flavor.
Clean.
Syrupy.
Clean.
Yeah, it's good. It's got a good mouthfeel. And you're right, I do get the toffee.
It says a hint of spice.
I think it's more than a hint. Like, that one gives me a little lip tingle.
No, I chewed it. I really did. I sat there, I swished it.
We saw.
I'm gonna edit some of that, thanks. But I switched it, and the reason is I wanted to pull this out. It's good. It's good. That is the dumbest term.
Well,
it's good.
It is good. It is complex. It brings different spice levels throughout.
See, that's where I think it's complex.
Yeah.
I think that it changes temperature in your mouth. I
agree with that.
I think it continues to present itself as caramel or toffee.
That carries through.
Yeah. So you're going to get some vanilla in that. Mm-hmm. Now the oak, it's not oak heavy. It's about 5 years old. It's not going to be extremely oak heavy.
Right.
But it's certainly aged in an oak barrel.
Right.
It is char number 4.
It is char number 4.
Now,
and on the back end, it's at the very end that I do get a little bit of it.
When I compare this to something like Rare Breed, which is about the same proof, Rare Breed is significantly older. I get a cinnamony spice, and I get more oak in a Rare Breed. This I get more heat, and the heat changes. So its complexities in heat.
It does. I agree
not
with
in
that.
oak.
I agree. I agree with that. That's a good point. Where do we rank it? It's very complex. It's got some heat.
And I think this is eye of the beholder. It is not. It is.
This won't be everybody's preference.
No, not everyone wants to drink close to 120 proof. Mm-hmm. But you know that when you buy it, it's on the label.
Exactly.
Not everyone's gonna like a alligator char. It's on the label. So they're telling you up front.
Yep.
This is heat.
And y'all, that's one of the biggest reasons that we have become champions.
Yeah.
I would like to say.
Yeah. This is heat.
To put that stuff on your bottle. Because that way people can pick their preferences.
They're known for a wheated, bottled, and bond.
They are. That's very sweet.
And they're telling you this is heat.
This is not it. This is not our wheated, bottled, and bond.
So for me, if I go to the leather store and I say I want something that I'm looking specifically for that's going to give me heat, not a lot of age, but complex, and a solid drinker that's going to be warming, it's a hush your mouth. It hits everything you want it to hit.
Yeah. That price point is what we're seeing with this type of boutique distillery. Boutique?
You say tomato, I say tomato soup, whatever.
Anyway, that price point is around.
Does anyone say tomato soup?
No. Serial killers, maybe. And like you said, it is a single barrel. It's a cask strength. I have a hard time rating this for the reasons you articulated. Because overall, it's not my favorite flavor profile. But I recognize and enjoy the complexity of it, the heat changing throughout. It's going to be that dog will hunt for me, but it's a high one.
Okay.
So that's where I'm landing.
All right. Well, fantastic.
But yeah, recommend it. Go buy it.
Depending on what you're looking for.
What you like. If you like a higher proof.
It's on the label.
It is. And that, my friends, is worth cheersing.
That's worth cheersing. So,
cheers, y'all.
like and subscribe. Cheers, y'all.
Cheers, y'all.